Welcome to the AI-powered Sandbox. We are here in my yard at the Sandbox of my 3-year-old, and I think it's such a good metaphor for what kids get right in terms of playing and experimenting, and what we as product leaders in our mid-career and our also senior career do not do as often anymore. It's the play, it's the testing, it's the experimenting. And so that's why I created this course for you, to create a really safe space for us to explore, to test the new tools that AI has made available for us to become better product managers, to build better products faster, not to build AI into our products, that's not the course for this, but to really leverage the tools that are out there and to test them. So in the 4 weeks, we're going to build our own product castle and see if it stands. And with that, I'm going to show you a little bit more about what to expect from the class, what you'll learn. I'll give you a few tools you can already experiment with, and hope to meet you soon in our Sandbox. So let's take a look at the AI-powered product Sandbox, what's in that sandbox, what you get to experiment with during this class and this course. And also, recording here is meant to give you a sense for what it's like to be taught by me, what my style is, what my accent is, and how I like to run courses. I've been around the blog a few times in my entrepreneurial life. As you can see here, I wrote a book about entrepreneurship and how to build products from scratch. And I've also led some products at bigger companies like Genentech in the AI analytics and BI dashboard space, and then also ran the nonprofit organization Women in Product, which is a fantastic organization for over 20,000 women now, that I highly recommend to all the women here in this class to join if you want support. First of all, I want to ask a question, and that's something I always do in my classes. I want to hear from you. I want to hear who you are, what you're building, what you're working on, what's top of mind. And scan this QR code and answer the question, how AI savvy are you? It's a quiz of 5 questions, and we'll give you a little bit of a score and an estimation at the end to see what parts of this course might be perfectly relevant for you or not. So take a moment and fill out this form and let us know how AI savvy you are. So while you do that, I'll tell you a little bit about myself, what I've been up to in my career. I'm originally from Germany. That's where the accent is from. I came here about 13 years ago now to San Francisco, met my wonderful husband, who I now have a 3-year-old with, who is Sandbox, you just saw. Very messy Sandbox. He's a wild little child. And I've built a few startups in my career. Studied computer science and business in Germany, and then did a lot of management consulting all over Europe and the world, and was exposed to lots of different challenges in bigger organizations, from Philips to T-Systems to Shell, and helped them create new processes and tools. At the time, that wasn't called product management just yet, but in essence, it was exactly what we were doing. I was building a whole new procurement system, for instance, for data centers. And then I started to create my own businesses. I also ran my own consultancy for a little bit before coming to the US 13 years ago. And that's when I started a consumer product company with my husband. I also acquired a pet nutrition startup and their database and created a new product on top of it that was getting funded by one of the angel investors that invested also in one of my other companies, which was an AI matchmaking company for business women. And in the US, I worked at Genentech, first in their IT/marketing department, working with lots of vendors and APIs and tools and SAP. And then I joined their innovation team, where we created commercial partnerships with startups, which is really what catapulted me into the startup ecosystem, where I started to build my own products, and then became an advisor and mentor to a lot of different accelerators and also startup ecosystems, angel groups, and VCs. And today I'm still mentoring at the German accelerator under the Start 2 group. I'm a lead mentor there for a lot of startups coming to the US.
heavily support them on the sales, but also the product side. I ran a cohort for 100 female researchers who are excited about becoming entrepreneurs and commercializing their research last year. I did just recently this year a sales program with EIT Hub Silicon Valley, which brings European startups at a certain scale around Series A here to the US to start selling in the US market. And of course, there too, the question around product positioning and product features and also product marketing is a big topic. I guest lecture at a lot of various different universities, and I'm a faculty member of UC Berkeley, where I run the product management course, which is very popular. We got 300 applications for 50 seats for this past semester. I took that over from Ken Sandy and Derek Chan and now run that class. But obviously, so much is changing in product management that the class is not the same as it was last year. And so I'm excited to be at the forefront of what's happening in AI, see what can we build faster to create better products ultimately without the really long cycles. So let's dive right in and give you a little bit of value and some ideas of what you might be excited to work on and try out. Because this class is really all about testing, experimenting, and trying out. So a great tool is called Go Zigzag. You can go to gozigzag.com right now and enter any startup idea you might have. And it immediately unleashes your startup idea. It gives you a business prototype, a lean canvas. It starts with validation. It gives you critical hypotheses to check with user interviews. It can also create scripts for user interviews. It gives you a whole storytelling and branding central here around marketing. So these are incredible tools that were not available when I started my first startups. And it makes everything so much easier. It doesn't give you perfect results, but it's a fantastic tool to keep your team, to keep yourself and everybody else around you on their toes, because we have so much functionality now thanks to Gen AI and OpenAI's APIs and everybody else who's in that space. So if you have an idea, put it in here and also tell me what it comes up with. And that would be possibly an idea you could apply to this class with, and then create a team around that. Another amazing tool is Lovable. There's also Bolt, there's V0, there's a lot of different no-code text-to-code tools, which allow you to describe what you would like the tool to code, and then it actually codes it. So I wanted to create a US competitor analysis for European brands that are in the e-commerce space to see what other products are in the space. And the beauty of this also is that instead of you defining all the product specifications and then running them through sprints and the developers developing it, you can shorten that period so much more. And the only way to really experience the power of these tools and what it does for the design process is really by trying it out and by experimenting with it. You can do that with your own idea. You can do it with someone else's idea and form a team, or you can use one of the ideas that we provide in the class. It's super powerful. It gives you lots of ideas how to design, how to create usability, and also ultimately how to code some of these. Of course, we're going to prompt engineer. We are going to give you lots of prompts that are helpful, hopefully, in your product management day to day. Here's a task I set up on ChatGPT. Summarize new AI tools to support product managers in simple terms every day. Explain how they help product managers and how they make their job easier, et cetera, et cetera. So every day it will give me a new idea and a new insight into what's happening in the market. How to do these things, what prompts work, again, will be something we'll be teaching you, but also something you can share within your group. So in this class, we're going to go through the entire product development process, from gathering ideas, doing user interviews, competitive research and exploration, to feature prioritization, developing the product, then analytics and customer feedback to the entire circle of the product management lifecycle. For each one, we're going to talk about the tools, and we're going to demonstrate and use and test the tools that make it so much easier and 10 to 100 times faster to do these tasks that would usually take 3 months. To do this in a typical accelerator curriculum, this would have taken 3 months. And I taught 11 classes along this entire product management lifecycle. People took 3 months to get here, or maybe even here to the place where they could develop the product, which is typically where they started to look for funding because they didn't have the tools to actually test it and put it into the market. Now we have the first startups that are pitching with a developed product that they developed on Bolt or Cursor or Bubble or whatever it is, or Lovable. Yeah. So exciting times in startup land. Lots will change because of it. And you need to be on top of it so you know how you use these superheroes for your job, right? Like discovery. What are all the tools we can use in discovery? Here, the ideation, prioritization, all the frameworks. How can we supercharge these PM frameworks from Rise to Moscow, etc.? Writing product requirements, something lots of product managers hate. How can we make that easier? Which tools shall we use to trust that these are great specs and great requirements? Experimentation, validation, analytics and insights. Yeah, we don't have to write SQL prompts anymore and sift through data tables. We really have better tools now than we did in the past. Of course, also team productivity and collaboration is supercharged now with AI, and there goes more into it, right? In terms of leadership, and you know that, and you will be able to experience that in this class. Go-to-market sales alignment to really understand what the sales team is bringing back in terms of feedback to see if that informs the product requirement, the specifications, and also the product planning and road mapping. Of course, we have lots of tools to help us with that, and lots of AI in that space to make it even better and easier to do all this. So we'll try and test all of these different tools and get a chance to do that with our idea that we're working on in teams of 5. So if you are joining this cohort, we are going to build teams of 5. They could be working on your idea, or you could be working on someone else's idea, or you all come together to work on an idea that we give you. Who was that sneaking in there? Sneaky cowboy. It's always the 5th person. It's the 5th wheel. No, actually, groups of 5 are amazing. I've done this with many different groups, and we know that groups of 5 work really well for those kinds of product classes. Time-wise, 1.5 hours every Thursday in the morning, 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. PST. That is your lunch hour in the Eastern time zone. And could also work for Europeans if you wanted to do a late evening or early evening type of engagement. Community around this fantastic product hackathon, if you will, to test out all these different tools that hopefully will then help you bring that knowledge back to your organization. So you'll get an AI playbook, bringing AI fluency and innovation speed back to your organization. Plus, every week, there is a challenge, and one of the teams can win that challenge. And when you win, you actually get some prizes sent to you via mail. So I'm not going to say more, but it's fun and exciting. Are you ready for the sandbox? Are you ready to build a fun castle? See what's possible with the tools that are available today? I'm very excited to dive in with you. I know I will learn a lot during this class as well. I would love to hear from you, and I would love to hear what you are trying to build, what you're trying to learn, and what you're trying to improve and make more effective in your day-to-day PM job. The outcomes you can expect: return to your company really equipped with a deep understanding of the latest AI tools and the mind of a product leader of the future, know how to use these tools, In this 4-week sprint, you will test a lot of different AI tools to gather insights, create ideas, prototype, and launch, and then also test all with a new team, and hopefully create some friends and friendships and good network there as well. You'll apply PM frameworks faster and deeper with the support of AI co-pilots and GPT agents and bring them back to your team. You also learn about all these terms in the language, and you feel much more confident around these terms at the end of the class. Know how to use AI as a decision-making coach for product leadership in high-pressure sprints. Yeah. So how can we use all these different tools to make us more efficient and better, and perhaps even use AI as a coach that is usually expensive and not readily available, and leave with confidence in a playbook to lead AI-powered product management inside your organization. So lots of ideas and exercises will give you that you can bring back and lead in your own organization. If you have teams that want to join, please just send me an email and we can discuss what that might look like. Last but not least, the Guild is known for world-class entrepreneurship education. The Guild is my company and my brand. The Guild Academy is under the Guild, and we do a lot of in-person and virtual events like the ones I mentioned. And yeah, feedback from those programs in the past has been nothing but incredible. We have NPS scores anywhere from the 70s to the 100s, which is completely unheard of, especially for programs that are online. And so I'm excited to hopefully bring that same satisfaction also to you and blow your mind and change the way how you think and transform you into a AI maven. So with that, I invite you to sign up to the class. Let me know if there are any questions. I'm always happy to help, even if it's not related to the class. Absolutely happy to support you in any way I can. So find me on LinkedIn at Anne Coquette on LinkedIn. Send me a connection request. Mention this class, mention Maven. And if you're ready to sign up, use the QR code and secure your spot in this upcoming cohort. I'll see you there, and you have a wonderful day.